Last night we had our New York Shakespeare. Pause, do it quick. We had our New York Shakespeare Live interview program, where again we spoke with Chris Sanderson of Gorilla Rep, Jay Michaels of Genesis Rep, and Eliana Rowe, most recently of the Gallery Players Hamlet at Home. And we ran a little bit long with the conversation, so our interview with Eliana Rowe got cut short, unfortunately, and we ran out of time in the middle of her interview. So again, whoever might have seen, we just tried to do this interview again on Facebook Live. Unfortunately, that didn't work. We're back here on Instagram Live in case someone's able to join us on this. And basically, the sum of it all is that we wanted to continue the conversation with Eliana Rowe. So we scheduled it for tonight at 10 p.m. But unfortunately, I don't know what part of New York others are, but I'm in a part of New York that was just slammed by Tropical Storm Isaiah. And isn't that delightful? And Tropical Storm Isaiah, even though it sounds like a delightful summery tropical storm, actually knocked down a whole lot of trees and caused a great deal of property damage near where I am, and knocked down some trees onto some power lines. So I have no power right now. I'm putting my delightful assortment of candles and my other phone. Hello, that's me, telling us your illumination for tonight, because that's all you get. You have no power. So I have no power, I have no Wi-Fi, I have about 10% of battery life left on my phone, and I have a very poor connection. I have very poor signal on cellular signal on my phone. So this is one of those cases of Murphy's Law where just anything that can possibly go wrong is going wrong right now, and it's another one of those things where man plans and God laughs. So God's having a very nice chuckle up there in heaven, laughing at my attempts to provide some bonus content and continue the interview with Eliana. Eliana, it seems like this way that God deigned that your name and my daughter's name should be Eliana. He is deigning that our conversation was supposed to end right where it ended. Here we go. Let's see if we can ask Eliana to join us. So we are trying to continue last night's conversation with Eliana Rowe. The technology and the power outage are not assisting us in this effort, but we will try nonetheless. If we can make it happen, we can make it happen, and if not, then not. But we'll try our best, and the show must go on if it can go on. So let's see what we can do. You know, in some ways, it's kind of like a microcosm of the outage, so to speak, of the New York Shakespeare scene, where the coronavirus pandemic has shut down all theatrical performance, all the theaters, and right now, in addition to the coronavirus, we have the icing on top of Tropical Storm Isaiah and the power outage it has caused at my place of residence. So it's a little bit, we're in a little bit of a pickle right now. So we're going to try. We already tried on Facebook Live. Unfortunately, that did not work out, and we're trying with Eliana. Eliana, you know, it looks like, unfortunately, this just was not meant to be. We were hoping to continue last night's conversation here tonight. Unfortunately, it just didn't come to pass. So let's do this. It's 10. Oh, wait a second. I think I might have something. Eliana, is that you?
That
Or
is
is
me.
that the ghost of Eliana past?
Hi. Hello.
Eliana. Hi, Eliana. I think you're on the, you know, where I am, I have terrible cellular signal right now, so I would always depend on my Wi-Fi to kick in and help me get this show on the road. But unfortunately, I have no power, I have no Wi-Fi, I have about 10% battery life left on my phone, and I have one bar. So we're in a little bit of a pickle. So let's do this. Eliana, if you're able to pop in here live streaming video with me, then great. If not, then let's try doing answering a couple of questions on the chat, and then we'll just call it a day. Because it seems like we have a handful of people that are here with us that are joining us in our event. Oh,
Hi. Can you see me?
these Eliana, the skies have opened up and they've delivered Eliana.
Ah.
I see you. How are you, Eliana?
I'm good. This storm is out here. I'm good. How are you doing?
You know what? Okay, I'm fine. You know, so you're up in Albany, right? It's how has the storm hit you guys up there?
Yes, I'm visiting my sister in Buffalo this week, so
Okay.
it didn't hit us as bad here.
You're more inland in Buffalo, right?
Hmm?
You're more inland. You're more away from the water in Buffalo.
Yeah. Hmm.
Right. Okay.
So I think I guess we got spared a little bit.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, where I am, I'm not too far from the water, and we got hit pretty hard. We have all kind of trees down all around where I am, and the trees, being the silly things that they are, decided that the perfect place for them to fall would be right on our power lines, right up the block from where I am. So we have no power in about a good 1 mile radius for me. So we have no power. I'll show you the very delightful and very scenic illumination that we have right here.
I love
Here are
it.
my candles. Here's my old iPhone, who's providing some spotlight for us tonight.
I
So
love
we'll do what we can with what the limitations of the technology we have right now, or the power that we have affords us. So, Eliana, for whatever conversation we're able to have, it seems like you're kind of cutting in and out. We don't have a great connection.
Oh no.
Uh, Continuing from our conversation last night, if we're able to. So, where we left off was that you were telling us, or I was asking you, about what your plans were now that you just completed your fantastic run as the title role in Hamlet for the gallery players. And you were telling me that you wanted to do some more reading and some more study and to focus on sonnets and some contemporary work and things like that. So where were we going after that? Did you feel like you were wanting to get involved in the New York scene eventually? I think you were saying the ultimate goal is to move down to New York City, downstate to New York City, and to be part of the of what's happening down here.
Yes, exactly, exactly, exactly. I actually, I hope this is the like okay place to say this, but I actually just got an email from one of the other guests from yesterday's performance about hopefully an opportunity. So I might be in another show, which would be really great. And then in addition to that, like the local work that I'm working on is working with some local artists on different readings that they're doing for new plays, which I love. I love working with playwrights. And then I'm also taking part of a Black theater happening here, and we're going to be working on a devised piece together. Uh, Her name is Morgan Elizabeth, and she started a company a few years back called Illuminate Theater, which is really geared towards the Black community, which is really great. And I'm super excited for that. And I also write plays, so I have an idea that I've been wrestling with and trying to write. So hopefully I'll have some time to really get into that. And then I have a podcast called the Hello Joy podcast. It's something that I started a year ago now, and it's just about my journey of finding joy in everyday life and learning how to go with the highs and lows. Yeah, so sometimes I have guest speakers on there, sometimes it's just me, and there are like weekly chats about things that I'm like learning that I want to share. Yeah, so that's what's going on with me. And I mean, hey, if anyone has any work that they want to do or you want to collaborate, let me know. I can include my information on this post as well as I did on the other one. I'm still working on getting my website together. But yes.
So without naming any names, I can say with certainty that after last night's chat, you've already been contacted, and you already are under consideration for a couple of shows, a couple of Shakespeare's. So we'll leave that for the audience a little bit. We'll dangle a little bit of suspense for the audience and let them find out in the near future what those things are. But I think you are a star that's on the rise, and I think you have a lot of big things coming up for you. So let me ask you, Eliana, and if anyone is out there watching us right now, I know it's very difficult to hang in there with us right now because of the poor connection and the poor visual quality of what's going on. But for anyone who is out there, if you can give us just a thumbs up or some kind of feedback in the comment section, just let us know if you can hear us okay, because from where I'm sitting, the audio is kind of coming in and coming out, so I can't really determine if that's just what I'm hearing or if it's what the people that are observing are hearing as well. So Eliana, something else that I had wanted to ask you about is that when I was checking out your profile and doing a little bit of research on you, I saw that you are also a podcaster at the tender age of early 20s. So what is your podcast all about?
Oh yeah. So my podcast is called Hello Joy, and it's all about
Mm,
learning to have joy in everyday life. Yeah. So each week, I talk about different things that are going on with me and things that I'm learning. I talk a lot about imposter syndrome, navigating family life, navigating being an artist and trusting your voice. So yeah, those are some of the things that I talk about, and there are different segments. So I'll have like a 1, 2, 3 joy segment where we talk about like kind of like your rosebud thorn, and I talk about things that I learned throughout the week. And then there's a main segment where there's kind of like a lesson of sorts, or something that I'm learning. And then also there's an affirmation that comes at the beginning of the podcast, and then a challenge that comes at the end. Because I feel like as a person who really loves self-help, I guess, and like self-actualizing, I think that it's fun to do it together and in community with other people. And I found that it's really dope to do that with podcasting. So I was like, why not? And I had a couple of people tell me at school, like, you have a voice that would be great for a podcast. And I was like, okay, I might as well do it. And I did it last summer while I was working a couple of retail jobs. So yeah, I've been off the grid for a little while, but I plan to get back on it very, very soon. And I have so many thoughts and ideas that I'd love to share. I guess I was just in a season where I was like brewing and contemplating things for myself before it was time to share. You know, I think there's a season for speaking and a season for like learning. And I have an episode about that, which is called In the Dark Room. Because like when you're developing a photo in the old days, like the photo had to rest in all of those different substances and liquids in the dark room for a while before it was processed and ready. And I think that with all that's been going on, I've just been percolating and learning. And I can't wait to share what I've learned with y'all. So yeah, if you want, you can follow me. It's on, I have a separate IG page, and I use the podcast app called Anchor. So you can catch me there on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. But yeah.
okay, all right, Eliana. So I heard a good chunk of that, but I didn't hear a good chunk of that. But what I did hear sounded great. So,
Okay.
Eliana, at the risk of at the of putting a damper on things, I think that our connection just isn't strong enough for us to really continue much further. What I just wanted to wrap up with is for you to tell us where can people find you and contact you in case people are casting something, in case people want to check out your podcast, in case people check out your work with the Gallery Players or anything else that you've been up to. Where can they find you, Eliana?
Yeah. So
And if
I
you
mean,
could
you
also tell us verbally and also put it in the chat as well.
will do. So you can find me on my Instagram. So because we're live, you can see what it is. My name is simply underscore Eliana underscore. And I post about the work that I'm doing on here. I don't currently have a website. I'm still working on it. But if you have any inquiries, you can definitely reach out to me at my email, which is Rowe, ROWE, Eliana, ELIANA, @gmail.com. Yeah, and I would I'd love for you to see what I'm doing, what I'm up to next. And as soon as I have my website out, I will blast it to the heavens so that you guys can reach me there as well. And I'll put it in the comments
All
too. I
right.
think it might
Okay.
be
So
easier to
again,
tell.
unfortunately, we have just a very poor connection. So I'm struggling to hear what you're telling me, and I'd really love to. But we're making a good effort on both sides to try to make the connection go through. But the environmental factors with the blackout and the storm, everything are just aren't being very helpful. So let's say this, Eliana. Unfortunately, I think we're gonna have to bring this one to an end. And what I think I'll ask you to do, if you'd be so kind, because we had the unfortunate situation with the storm where we don't have power and we weren't able to do the Facebook Live in its entirety. And we kind of had a moderate success here with the bonus material, where we were able to finally connect, but I couldn't really hear you all too well. So why don't you just afterwards, if you'd be so kind, put your information both on the Facebook post and on the Instagram post so people can find you afterwards. They can check out your Instagram, they can check out your whatever public profiles you might have, check out your work, check out your podcast, and hopefully you and I can reconnect in a different way at some point down the road. Well, hopefully there's no tropical storms on that particular day.
Thank you. It was lovely talking to you. And I hope everything goes well with your power. But thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you so much, Eliana. It's really been a pleasure chatting with you and getting to know you, and hopefully we continue to do more so in the future.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much. Okay, folks, whoever was able to join us tonight, I truly apologize for the poor audio and visual quality of this supposed bonus interview. We really tried our best to make it happen, but the fact that there's a blackout and a tropical storm and no power and no Wi-Fi and poor cell signal really kind of put the knife in the back of this deal. So unfortunately, even though we tried to soldier on, work as well as we had hoped. So I hope maybe some of you out there were able to hear Eliana a little bit better than I was. And nonetheless, we'll put the video on IGTV. And hopefully we can watch a little bit of that there. Eliana, thank you again so much. It's been a pleasure getting to chat with you last night, a little bit tonight, and hopefully we chat again in the very near future.
Sounds great. Thank you. Have a great night.
All right. All the best. Be well. We'll be in touch.